Hello, everyone. This is Lisa from Power Wheelchairs for Success, and today we are going to talk about how to deal with those eternal questions about our disability or disabilities. So sometimes this can get difficult because we have different classified type people, that we work with. So there are those who are really open to learning and they are good listeners and they do the research. So those are like the easiest folks to work with because they say, oh yeah, oh okay. So they're kind of easier to work with, and those we run into hopefully more often than not. Then we have the other ones who were just very awkward people, and they don't know what to say, and they're embarrassed and nervous and anxious, and the strangest things come out when they say something or ask something. And they're really trying, but it just comes out wrong. So it's not like they're doing it on purpose. It just comes out just the way they didn't want it to. So we have those people. And then we have the other people who are very difficult to work with. Those are the people who, I'm just looking at my sheet here as a guide. So those who are the ones who believe they know, they have all kinds of advice for you. They know how to fix you. They believe you're just going to get over it. You can get up from your wheelchair and you can just walk. You're going to be fine. You just go to therapy. Nothing's wrong with you. If you do these vitamins or you go to this particular doctor, they can fix you. So it just goes on and on and on. These are the people who have that wall and it just don't get it. Okay, so we have the ones who really want to learn. We have those who are just the awkward type, and then we have those who absolutely know. You just can't reach them. So then the question becomes, how do you deal with it? So I'm gonna throw in some tips here and some explanations so that you might have some weapons, some go-to answers depending on the circumstances. So let's see how good I do. All right. So the first question is, what is your relationship to this person? And it could be your spouse, it could be your neighbor, it could be your boss at work, it could be someone you just ran into in the grocery store that they stopped you and said, "Oh, that wheelchair is so cool. Where did you get it? How did you get it?" So in each one of these circumstances is very different, and it's called the boundary issue, because you don't want to get into deep answers with the person in the grocery store. It's none of their business about your condition, about your situation, unless they're trying to learn something. But it's up to you. It's none of their business about your condition and your wheelchair and how you got it, and they have a bazillion questions for you. So you really want to make sure that you figure out where you want to draw the line because sometimes it's just not appropriate. So so it's that kind of boundary, like I don't know this person from Adam and I don't need to explain. so so truly you have to think about it that way. If it's your boss at work, you just do it very businesslike and you just state your needs. This is what I need. This is what's going to help. This is what we should do in an emergency. And you just go down the line, just businesslike, just with little emotion and relaxed. I think that in any circumstance, the more comfortable you are, which we will talk a little bit further down in the video, the more comfortable you are with you, the more relaxed and comfortable the other person will be. But we'll talk a little bit more about those details a little bit further down the video. So, so you get in terms of the boundaries. If it's your spouse or your mom, you can take more time and you can be a little bit more intimate and more detailed with those people because you see them a lot. They're worried about you in a healthy or unhealthy way. So those people are going to take a little bit more work if they're just not there yet. If you have like a doctor that you need to, work with and they just don't get you, they just don't understand your disability, they just, I don't need to have, it's too expensive to have a exam table that's accessible, or, no, we're not doing that. So, you know, it really depends on the doctor's attitude. And if you feel like you're not getting the care you need due to, the doctor not understanding your disability, doesn't want to pay attention to the disability, then maybe it's time to change doctors because you don't have time. In the doctor's office, it's only 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then they're on to the next person. So, if they don't want it, well, too bad for them. You'll just have to look for someone else to really, who really gets you. So that's where the boundaries come in, and how far you want to go with that person. Don't waste your time, that's for sure. Don't waste your time and your energy and your emotions on someone who is just dead set on blocking you out. So, your energy and your time and your emotions are important, and it's just crucial for you to protect them. Care about yourself. Don't feel bad or embarrassed. You gotta own, and we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit further down in the video, but just hold that thought. So we talked about, boundaries, which are really important depending on your relationship with a person. If you've never met them, boundary goes up. If you kind of see them once in a while, or someone at work, just do it more businesslike. As someone who's very close to you, you're going to see them every day. You know that you'll be dealing with them. And so here are some other tips and ways you can express what your needs are, what your experiences are. So one of the big things that we deal with, in our wheelchairs is energy, right? So there was a person on, her name is Christine. I don't know her last name, but I'll certainly attach the link. But Christine explained our energy in terms of spoons. Let's say you have 5 spoons to use during the day, and you did laundry, so there goes 1 spoon. You had to cook later on, there goes another spoon of energy. And that you had to go to the store and do some grocery shopping, there goes another spoon. So by the time you get home and you're done with your day, you either have just 1 spoon left or nothing left. So sometimes that helps people understand in a visual aspect, where your energy goes. So, or how your energy functions and how much energy it really takes us to do tasks during the day, whether it's cleaning the house or just getting dressed or taking a shower. In the mornings after I take my shower and I get dressed, I'm wiped out and I still have to go downstairs to do breakfast. So, and people don't get that, they think that, oh, she's up, she's doing fine, but no, by the time I get down to breakfast, I'm wiped out. So after breakfast, I kind of crawl back to my room and I sit quietly so I can recover some energy to be able to continue my day. So spoons, the image of spoons sometimes can help. Sometimes you have to accept those people who won't get it, who will never get it, and just say, okay, I'm just not going to keep on trying here. So, that's hard because we want people to understand in a good way. But sometimes there are just those people who won't get it, and it's just not worth it. Change the topic. Talk about movies, talk about sports, talk about religion, anything but your disability. So just change the topic or just don't interact with them. It's just not worth it. It's a relationship that's not worth it. So that's really important. When do you stop trying? So that's a question for yourself. You know the person better than anyone, or maybe not. And you know yourself. and what patience you have. So safeguard, when you're working through and sharing and trying to explain your disability, safeguard your own emotions. This is a little sensitive area for us, so it's ours. And it's not for someone to criticize it or to slap us down or to tell us how we're not doing what we're supposed to do. That can get a little emotional. So really important to protect your emotions. And when you feel like you've gotten to that edge where it's too much for you, and just back away, change the topic, forget it, you're done. So really protect your emotions for your own health, Here is confide in someone, as we go through life, explaining our disability over and over and over again to different people at different times in different situations. It can get tiresome. It can get tiresome and it can get, exhausting. And I think you know what I'm talking about. You certainly know what I'm talking about. When you're going over this over and over and over again, it can get traumatic. So please feel free to either confide in a close friend and a family member that you feel that they listen to you well, to a counselor. I have a counselor myself because dealing with the condition or conditions is exhausting sometimes, and you need someone who's just going to listen to you, someone who's not going to judge you, someone who's going to give you some tips on how to, and sometimes a professional can do that better than a family member. So consider confiding, Accept a job well done. So sometimes we punish ourselves in terms of, I didn't do it as well as, but accept yourself in the job well done and explaining and helping others understand. And if that person just couldn't get it, then they couldn't get it. And that's okay too. We just got to let go of that one. Okay, recognize that not being understood could be traumatic. So, and I mentioned that a few seconds ago. It is traumatic sometimes especially if it's a person closer to you and they just don't get it and they're punishing you over and over. Like, well, you should wear braces or something, or you should just snap out of it, or you need to pray more, or you should go to this doctor or take this vitamin, you'll be fine, It just doesn't work that way. And, our emotions can get stirred over and over and over. And sometimes these conversations can draw us back to the time where our injury happened. And it can create a trauma. So that is really important to reach out to a professional and be able to heal that, for yourself, not for anyone else. Don't go to counseling for someone else or because they told you to do it or they told you had to see a psychiatrist. No, that's up to you, what you feel comfortable doing. And I've been working with a counselor since my 9 years started. So, and she's very good. I mean, she understands the people who don't get me, don't understand, and how to work with that, and not run myself down and run myself over. So sometimes we punish ourselves more than other people do. So reach out, join a support group, or have a group of friends who use wheelchairs. Get together, hang out, go to the movies, and that can be relaxing and healing for you. So seeking support is really important. So those are my tips. You might have some other tips that might have worked for you. So feel free to ask questions, to post your tips that might help. But just know that your disability is yours, and you are a good person, a strong person, and answering these questions over and over again, you have to evaluate if it's worth doing that yet again. Certain people just are not worth it, not worth going over and over and over again. They need to do their research and take their time out to understand. So I'm hoping this was helpful. And feel free to share your positive experiences and what has worked for you.